Oklahoma's economic success began more than 115 years ago when investors took gambles and drilled for oil. Now, some of the descendants of those who struck it rich and others with substantial wealth are investing in the new economic frontier of innovation and technology.
At this business incubator called The Forge, you can see the creative energy flowing. Young inventors and innovators are launching startup businesses they hope will make a mark on the world. Narrable is one such venture. Dustin Curzon is the founder. He calls himself the chief storyteller.
Narrable is an online storytelling platform for the stories that matter. And that can be defined as a lot of different things, whether it's family photos or nonprofits or other things. But right now we're focusing on the education world.
Curzon and his partner Kavit Binyan are working on refining and expanding the software that puts words to pictures. Right now they market primarily to teachers both here in the United States and abroad.
We have people using Narrable in 78 countries. 13 of those countries are classrooms and teachers using Narrable. It has a big use internationally as for English language learners.
The Narrable platform can also be used to evaluate students' work through the year based on the child's use of vocabulary and other verbal cues.
It was a story in my reading book. I think it was had to do with cowboys. It was called Cowboys, and there's real pictures of actual cowboys. And it told the story about how they would have to take something, how to ride on their horses.
So the student is going from lower order thinking of recall and actually moving into evaluation, moving into reflection, comparison. Well, this was just about as big as this, all the way up to the very top, which is creation. And that's higher order thinking skills.
Narrable has other uses like documenting family history with words. Photographs can be posted for family members to comment on. They can be gathered directly from a computer microphone or by making a phone call.
You can start telling your story anytime after the beep. When you're finished, just hang up.
This photo is of one of my great uncles, I believe, that he lived in Rocky Comfort, Missouri.
Entrepreneurs who qualify can office here for free and get help with a business plan. Brian Pascal is the executive director of The Forge. He says the business incubator is seeing an economic payoff.
Have gone from literally a sole entrepreneur to employing over half a dozen individuals. And currently, 3 of our tenants in the space now have hired either part-time or full-time people in the last 2 months. Our goal is to get them so that they're hiring enough people that they outgrow our needs.
A recent post on the online money-saving site NerdWallet ranked Tulsa first and Oklahoma City 5th as the top cities for young entrepreneurs.
Tulsa and Oklahoma City, we have the benefit of having 2 great things that other cities can't just get overnight, and that is a high quality of life and a low cost of living.
It's just so expensive now if you want to be in Silicon Valley or New York that you're forced to raise a lot of capital right out of the gate, and that's not necessarily the right decision for every business.
Danny Maloney of Oklahoma City is the founder of Pin League, a startup company which now has 13 part-time and full-time workers. Maloney hopes to double that number in a year. Pin League got its inspiration from the popular social media website Pinterest. Users of Pinterest compile pictures of people, things, or products they like and pin it or share their likes with others. Pin League analyzes data from Pinterest for companies to use in marketing strategies.
So, for example, this is data for Old Navy. And so what it tells us is that over time, their back-to-school board has been by far their most viral board. This one pin here with a specific outfit was repinned 431 times. Which means it would have reached a very large audience.
Entrepreneurs like Maloney, who have brand new ideas, is what the business community in Oklahoma City is looking for. Roy Williams is the president and CEO of the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber of Commerce.
Our focus is on building an economy. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't create companies that build economies, they build companies that live off of economies. And so we want those who are building economies.
Williams says Oklahoma universities are helping to bring new ideas to the marketplace by requiring different disciplines to interact.
If you force engineering students to go into a medical school and watch medical procedures, the first thing they're going to think about is, I can make a better tool than that.
Keeping those new inventions on Oklahoma soil is a key factor in economic growth.
Entrepreneurs require angel funds, they require seed funds, they require venture funds, all before they do conventional funding.
Maloney says without enough Oklahoma investors, new companies may not find the opportunity to grow.
And now they need to grow from 15 people to 30 to 50 to 100 or 200 people. You need substantial capital to make that happen. And if you can't get it in the local market, other investors are going to say, hey, here's a check, but you got to move to Austin, you got to move to Silicon Valley, you got to move to New York.
Williams says those who have had success investing in the energy sector are now realizing the possibilities of investment diversity.
4 or 5 years ago, didn't have any angel investors. Or if we did, they weren't organized. They were just out there on their own. So, you know, we've identified angels, we've put them together into angel groups and angel networks so they can interact and that they can be presented with different opportunities.
Tulsa is developing an investor base as well.
There's not a big difference between the boom days of the origin of Tulsa and digging a hole for oil. Sometimes you don't strike oil, but when you do, great things happen. And that's the same in investing in companies. And so hopefully we can harness that sort of pioneer, go-for-it spirit that Tulsa was founded on in a kind of new industry for the next generation.